You're good.
All right. Welcome, everybody. So good to see your faces.
Yeah.
I was trying to get in. Susan sent me a link, and it somehow worked this time, but I also tried my other computer, so that probably is the case. But we're happy to have LaWanna here and speaking to us about journaling. And just as a, curiosity, how many of you already journal in some way?
I start and then I don't finish.
I used to in college. I think my last journal entry was back in college. So that was a while ago.
Yeah, a few years. But yeah. So I don't use it for every aspect of my life, but I do for prayer, and it has helped me a lot. But there's other aspects that you can use it in. And so I'm anxious to hear your talk, LaWanna. And actually, I think we might just get into it now because I know that's why we're here, and then we'll do our our commercials and stuff. So you've got
Jana. I'll introduce her.
Yes. Thank you.
I've known LaWanna, and actually Pat Gakatan has known LaWanna for what, 20, 25
something like that.
Yeah, we knew LaWanna
before the turn of the century.
Yeah, exactly. We've known LaWanna through Toastmasters, and if you see that little DTM next to her name, that is the highest honor for a Toastmaster. She served in leadership. Wow. She's won awards. I don't know how long you were involved, LaWanna, but to get to a DTM, a big deal. She is a speaker, a coach, an author. She does a podcast. So whatever she shares with us today, I know is going to be valuable. Plus, it's going to be delivered in an awesome way. So I'm looking forward to hear LaWanna talk. LaWanna Parker, you are up.
Thank you. And good morning to all of you. Good morning. I was going to ask how many people journal, but since we already took that census, we'll just bypass that little question. Again, welcome, and I am just thrilled to death. What I'm going to do is take about 20 to 25 minutes of talking to you to share what I have to say. And then I will go into the benefits of what journaling is all about. I should have said because it sounds like I'm going to do another 20 minutes. But anyway, thank you so much for taking this time out of your busy schedule to be here, and I so much appreciate it. Also, a special thank you to Susan Dr. Zaz, girl, I'm twisted here on your name, but thank you for inviting me, and a special thanks to Jana for allowing me to be your speaker today. So, before I get started, I would like to share a little bit about myself. Is that all right with you? Okay. I started having an interest in writing when I was a very young kid. In fact, when I realized that the alphabets and the sounds they put together created words, and I started reading books, I got really excited because I could see the stories they were telling me. And that just amazed me. I thought it magical. Imagine writing something that you're thinking about and putting it in such a way that somebody who's never met you before would read your words and know exactly what you're saying and could see it if you put the words right. I just thought that was so magical to do that. And I wanted to be a writer. But coming up as a kid, I had a lot of self-esteem issues. And it didn't help any when my sister got a hold of my makeshift diary and decided to share it with some of the other kids. She thought it was funny. I personally was devastated because I had some personal stuff written in there. It wasn't meant for anybody to see it but me, because I didn't have anyone to talk to, so I could say what I wanted in that diary. The sad part is that I allowed that to grab a hold, and I just shoved the idea of writing to the back burner. And for years, I avoided not only trying to write anything, but even writing letters to anyone. I didn't want to do anything that someone could take and just scatter it about and make it into something that I wouldn't appreciate. And I just felt that I would be hurt, I would be humiliated. I mean, all the negatives that you could think of, that was rolling around in me, and it kept me from the writing. But you know, there's something about a thing, if it's meant for you, it won't die. It keeps trying to stick its head up to remind you, hey, I'm here. I'm just waiting on you. And that was the case with writing for me. Every so often, it would push hard enough that I knew it was there and knew that I just had to do it. And I still hadn't worked my way through those self-esteem issues. Finally, after many long years, and I do mean many long years, and I'm not going to tell you how many long years it was, but I finally decided to take a writing class. It was a creative writing class, and it was fun. And the teacher actually liked some vignettes that I had written. I was so ignorant, I didn't even know they were vignettes until she told me that's what they were. But she liked them and thought I should continue with writing. But I'm still working my way through the negatives. So I kind of, well, yeah, well, I'll do it. So I think another 2 or 3 years passed, and then I took another class that was online, which was interesting because the guy who ran that class, there was 244 of us in there, and he decided to have a contest and asked us to compete. We were to write 15 to 2,500 words for the contest, and 10 people would be selected to put in a book. I am very happy to say that despite the fact that I entered at the last minute after much consultation with myself, that my story was one of the 10 picked up. So since that book was published in Australia, I get to say I'm an international award-winning author. So that's one of the things that goes on my resume. At any rate, it encouraged me enough that I started trying to do more writing. Now, what got me into the journaling? This part is kind of sad because it had to do with my son. I lost my son quite a few years ago, and he had taken something with him that I gave him when he was 5 years old. It was well, I guess you could say it was a journal. It was called School Days. And he took that book, and after I gave it to him, I never thought anything about that book again. You know, when you got kids and you're working and you're trying to take care of home and making sure everything is covered, you don't have time to be thinking about things like that. So I gave it to him and forgot about it. Well, he took that book and he put something in it for every year that he went to school. This was the first year in kindergarten. He was 5 years old when that picture was taken. But each picture, each year he put a little something in there, whether it was a report card or something that told what happened for him for that year. Nothing special, at least not for him. Here he was in the 7th grade. Here he's in the 10th grade now. You can see he was very active in sports. This was his 11th year, the year before he graduated. I hope you guys can see it because I can't scoot around too much where I'm sitting at. But this is the final picture. And unfortunately, I couldn't adjust it to get it so you could see his whole face. but he went into the military. And that's where I lost him, not in the service of his country, but on his way to visit his fiance. That part's a little sad because he always said, when I asked him why he chose to go into the military, he said for him, it was important that he gave back to the country. And if he lost his life doing that, he was okay with that. So no matter how he died, it was going to be hurtful and sad. But for him to lose it in a car accident rather than in service of the country, it's a little, I feel bad for him. But as I said, for me, it wouldn't have mattered. However he died, it was going to hurt. And it did for years and years. And there are times when I still get modeling, as some people say. Sometimes when I see something or someone doing something or featuring him, I get all emotional. And at times I'll pull this book back out and I'll go through it and I can watch him grow from kindergarten up to the military. That's what started me early this year. For some reason, it just kept coming in my head, journaling, you need to journal. And I started investigating and journaling, and I realized there is so much to it that people don't know. But the main thing is, it led me to doing this. Now, this is my first book that has my name on the cover. It's not a compilation of everybody else's included, but it's my personal book of what I experienced at a moment when I was, I don't like to say down, but I was going through some emotional issues. And I found writing it out helped so much. And when I went back to read what I had written, I discovered that with tweaking, this could be a book. And that's what I ended up doing, creating the book. Now, the lady on the cover with me is a lady I met at a leadership camp. And she was such a special lady because I went to that leadership camp thinking I had enough money to survive the week that I was going to be there. I was so embarrassed. I got there and they told me how much the parking cost. That took up all of the money I thought I had. And when she found out, because she had invited me to go to lunch, and I said, I think I'm just going to go up to my room. She said, oh no, we have to stay together and work on these problems they gave us. I said, well, maybe I could do it later on, because I didn't want to be sitting there, everybody eating and not me. And so finally she said, okay, tell me what's wrong. Why aren't you going to lunch with us? And I had to admit to her what my situation is. And she said, don't you worry about a thing. I'll take care of it for you. I said, okay, then you give me your address and I'll send you the money when I get my money, And she said, no, you won't. You pay it forward to somebody else who's in trouble. And so that's what I've been doing. Anytime somebody's in a situation that they couldn't help and they need the help, I try to help them out. And I wanted to honor her by including her on the book cover of this book. But that's what got me started into journaling. That's what got me into back to writing and feeling good about the writing. I'm just in love with putting words on paper. So now that you know a little bit about me and how I got started, let me tell you about, I'm going to give you about 5 benefits. There's a ton of them, okay? You've already heard about the prayer journal. A gratitude journal is a great one to have as well, but there are so many things, and you don't have to have all of them to journal, just the ones that works for you. Journaling can help you to identify with your inner thoughts and feelings. That's what it did for me, because I had all this stuff going on in my head, but I wasn't ready to share that with anyone. I didn't feel comfortable blurting my personal demons out to the world, and wondering if they're going to go and share what I just said. So I just put it on paper, just wrote it out on paper. I didn't even do it on the computer at first. I just longhand wrote it out. And then when I realized that with some adjustments, some tweaking and whatnot, it could become a book. Then I went to the computer and started writing it and trying to format it so that it could be published. But when you think about it, and there are things you want to talk about, and you're not sure who you can trust, grab a journal. And even if you don't have a journal, any old tablet or piece of paper will do to write. There's nothing that says you have to save that, okay? You just want to get it out of your head so that you can get rid of the thinking thoughts that can change how you feel, it can affect your health. So many ways that negative thoughts affect us that we don't even realize. So if you put it on paper, it comes out of your head. Then you don't have to worry about your health issues. Not only does this help you to identify how you feel, but it also allows you to see how you can potentially change your emotional reactions. It gives you more control over your thoughts and feelings, and it enables you to shut out negative thoughts, and you can focus on what will work. One of the things about journaling is that it allows you to do that. If I'm angry with somebody about something they said or did, and I write it down, when I reread that, not right away, maybe I'll wait a day or so and then I'll reread it, I might see the answer that I need for the situation. That's the great thing about journaling. It helps you in situations like that. It helps you to understand what makes you work. You know, I tell people all the time, I'm absolutely in love with reading. And people who know me know how much I'm in love with reading. But 95% of the books that I read are all romance stories, okay? That's my addiction, reading romance stories. And I just absolutely love it. But until I started writing that, it wasn't something that I liked to share too much with people. I just kind of kept it inside. But now I laugh about it. And people who tend to think, oh, it's funny. And especially when I tell them, if it's not going to have a happy ending, I'm not going to read it. I bought a book one time. I was so angry with this woman. She had the nerve to have a bad ending, is what I call it. The hero died. You don't kill the hero in a book. What's wrong with her? And I thought, I will never buy another book she writes. And then one day I'm looking on Amazon and I come across her name in that book that I had read. She had put it on Amazon, but it said in there, previously published under, and it gave the name, and it said it has been revised with a totally new ending. So I took a chance and I bought it. Yes, she did change the ending. I think she probably got a lot of people like me who complain because, you know, nowadays we can email you, we can text you, we can get in touch with you. Now you can put stuff up on us and think you're going to get away with it. So because she did that, I thought, see there, I'm not the only one who wants a happy ending. Don't kill the hero, okay, or the heroine. A third way is that it can help you to relax, and it does. Because once you get those awful thoughts or feelings out of your head, or maybe you're working on something and you're trying to get a better understanding of it, so you jot it down and you can make comments, remarks about it, and it helps you to relax because all of a sudden it's not a problem anymore. you've got some ideas on how to handle the situation. So it's a great tool for you to go ahead and take care of any situation that arises. It helps you with goals. You set a goal and you're trying to figure out, well, what do I need to do and how do I need to do it? Start journaling about it and ideas will start popping into your head. A fourth one, I've already touched on this a little bit. It helps you to solve problems more effectively. Many times the source of anxiety or stress is due to unresolved problems, either at work or even at home, or maybe just something that you're dealing with that you're not sharing with anyone else. By journaling about it, you make the problems in a sense disappear. Doesn't disappear completely, but it's no longer that major thing that you thought, if I don't get this taken care of, it's gonna die. And doesn't matter what the problem is. It could be work related, it could be personal, it could be something that you want to do that you're thinking about, and you're convincing yourself that, nah, I might be wasting my time. Start writing about it and the situation will change. It makes a big difference. And the last one I wanted to share is that it is an excellent stress reliever. We all know that stress can lead to heart attacks, other types of health issues, mental issues. You don't need that. I don't know about you, but I plan on being around for 120 years. And I don't want to be dealing with any kind of stress, anything that's going to affect me and cause me not to enjoy those 120 years. Now, I figured I've got 46 years to go. So, and I plan on being in my right mind, in good health through all 46 of those years. So when the Lord says it's time to go, you got your 120 that you kept asking me about, come home, I'm still going to be able to say, thank you. And I can enjoy anything. You don't have to make any changes with me because I'm just okay. Stress can harm you in so many ways. So if for no other reason, I urge you, please, please, please get out your pen and paper, put your fingers to the keyboard, get that recorder if you don't want to write, because now every telephone has a recorder on it. No excuses. You can get those things out of your head. And as I said before, you don't have to hold on to it. Once you've done it, you can ball it up, burn it, toss it in the trash, whatever you want to do with it. It's up to you. Another thing, you do not have to journal every day. I think that might be another reason why some people don't want to journal, because they think, I don't have time to do this every day. You could do it every 2 or 3 days, once a week, every 2 weeks, even once a month. But get that stuff out of your head and put it on paper. It'll make such a difference. So on June 28th, I am going to be conducting a journaling class. And I will put the link in the chat box, but I hope that you'll all come to it because the cost is free. There's no charge, just come. And we'll talk more about the different things that you can get from journaling. And if you go to my blog, www.LaWanna's you can get a free copy of my tips on how to get started writing, even if you hate writing. So I hope that the things I shared with you today will be of great benefit to you, that you see something or heard something rather that might make a difference for you. I'm enjoying working with the journaling, and the people that I have met has been tremendous. I do a lot of talk about journaling on my blog. I also talk about other ways that you can take care of yourself, because we all have to take care of ourselves first. If we don't, how can we help those that we love? So I talk about that and self-love, different things that will help you alongside of the journaling. And if you go, the link will take you to Eventbrite where you can sign up, register rather, for the event on the 28th. And I hope that I have the opportunity to see at least some of you there, if not all. All would be better. But if you have questions, now is the time to ask me. Okay.
Susan, I saw your hand.
First question. LaWanna, what was the name of the woman at the convention that you showed in your backdrop?
Her name is Janie Dillon.
Okay.
She lives in Reading, and her husband is a minister up there.
I don't know about Yvonne and Pat. That looked a lot like Marilyn Robinson to me. I mean, it was good to see her whole face, but that would have been a really small one. She's a member of our mastermind group, so I thought that would be really cool. So my other question is, do you have a formula? So for example, like in Toastmasters, I know in speech development, they say, tell us what you're going to tell us, and then tell us what you told us. Do you have a formula for how to write in a journal that you follow, or is it kind of free form?
Well, I don't really have a formula, because one of the things about journal writing is that you have to feel comfortable. You have to be able to write what you want. What I can provide you with are prompts. So when you get stuck, for example, wow, I don't understand why I'm feeling like I am today. What's causing me to feel this way? Now, how I answer that question does not have to be a negative. It could be a positive. Maybe you're excited. You just won the lottery, you know, or maybe something negative has happened and you can write about it. The tip sheet that I provide on my blog, it gives you some suggestions. Prompts are one that you can use. You can also use pictures. Like last night, I ran across a bunch of pictures that I hadn't seen in years. Some were of my children, and I even found a couple of me, and I was showing them to my son and my grandson, and their girlfriends were over, and I said, "Hey, look up there! You see, I didn't always look this fat and pudgy. At one time, I actually looked pretty good." So I had them all laughing at my son, go, "Mom, you still look good. I don't know what you're talking about." But you can write about what's going on in that picture. And even if you can't remember, you can make up something. Who's going to know? Because some of the pictures I was looking at, I'm going, okay, what the heck? Where were we, and who took this picture? So, you can come up with stories for the pictures that you have. You can take pictures off the internet, something that looks interesting, and write about it. You can look at art. It doesn't matter, so much that you can use as a way of writing. But free form is a way, and by free form, I mean you just write whatever comes to your mind. Whether it makes sense or not, you just write it because it's in your head and you want to get it out. And eventually it'll either start making sense, or you'll start feeling good about whatever was happening before, and you can toss it and say, this is a bunch of gobbledygook, and just toss it away. The main thing is getting the gobbledygook out of your head.
Well, and I just wanted to make a comment because this happened this morning. My mom, 92-year-old mom, has been staying with us for the last 6 months because of a stroke. And she woke up not feeling well this morning. And I asked her what happened. And she said yesterday, she wrote a letter to a longtime friend. I think she's known this friend for maybe 40 years. Doesn't spend a lot of time with her, thought it was a friend. But the friend said something that upset her over a year ago. Because, I mean, it was COVID last year. So it was at least 2 years ago. And it's been bothering her. And so she wrote a letter to the friend, and it made her upset. And I was thinking that if she had chosen to write it in a journal instead, she might have felt better, because I don't think that the friend is going to respond to the letter the way she expects. I said, what happens if the friend doesn't respond the way you think? It's not going to make her feel better.
No, but
One of
it'll
the-
make her feel better that she got it out of her head.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
Well, and that
she's
could have
done
been
her part, and
Yeah.
so that's the main thing. Because apparently she's been thinking about this a lot. So now
Oh.
she's got it out. The friend may not respond, and let's hope that that doesn't bother her, that she doesn't respond.
Mhm.
But she's done her part. She's reached out. So it's up to the friend now to either reach back and say, I forgive you, or it's in the past. You know, I forgot about it. I remember a friend one time who said something that really hurt my feelings. This was many years ago. And honestly, I don't even remember what she said. I only know that it bothered me all day. We worked together. And I went home, it was bothering me. It bothered me all night. The next day I went to work, it was still bothering me. And she said something to me. And I said, you know, yesterday you said such and such a thing. And I want you to know you really hurt my feelings. And I'm never going to forget this because I use it sometimes. She looked at me and she gave me one of those look that guys used to give girls, you know, the up and down look. And she go, honey, if you let something that I said to you upset you, that's on you, not me. And I thought about that. I mean, I had no words for combat. I didn't know how to respond to it, but I thought about it and I realized that, you know what, it was on me, because I should have said, that's her opinion, and went on about my business and forgot about it instead of worrying myself sick. I was the only one upset. She went on about her business. She was just fine. You know? So I've never forgotten it, and I often use it in motivational speeches to let people know, don't let other people's thoughts control you.
Yeah.
You have the choice to decide whether or not you want to listen to what they say and believe it, or you want to go on with your life and say, well, that's their opinion. Mine's different.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with me being different.
So Yvonne, I saw your hand, and then Pat.
Yes, I just, I have a comment. First off, thank you, LaWanna, for sharing your experience with your son with us, because I know that is such a sensitive topic for many, many people. And I appreciate the openness in doing that. And then the other thing I wanted to share is that I actually have 2 journals that I keep, one for me personally, and a journal that I keep of my relationship with my son. And my son is 30 years old now. And several years ago, I kind of took a break from life and went back east and nannied for a summer.
Mm-hmm.
And when I left, I told him I had this book for him. So I told him, if anything were to ever happen, he needed to get a hold of that book because it gave some really deep inner thoughts. And so before I left, I actually let him read it, and he laughed his back end off for hours because of the stuff that I had in that book. And I've continued to write, and he's 30 years old now and recently got engaged. And I've kept track of all of his escapades in this book.
Uh-huh.
And the one thing I wanted to share is that thank you for reinforcing that it's okay to not write every day, because I sometimes feel guilty that I need to write and something in it every day, even if it's like, okay, today's Monday, I have nothing,
Yeah.
And so it's nice to hear that, that you can take a journal and you don't have to write in it every day, just when you have something that you want to put on paper. So I really appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I should have also said, and it doesn't always have to be bad stuff, okay?
Mhm.
Write about the good things too.
Absolutely.
Because you can look at that a year from now and go, wow, this happened. I remember how I felt. I'm so glad I'm not in that place today. So yeah, absolutely. Was there another hand up?
Yeah, Pat.
Pat, okay, Pat, you're gonna be the last because I'm 2 minutes over and I don't want you guys.
don't worry about
You're
that.
not
Don't worry about
inviting her back.
Well, first of all, LaWanna, thank you. And as Susan was saying, we've known LaWanna for years. She's been like a mentor almost to me ever since I was in Toastmasters. And I love this topic on journaling because I was also one who didn't journal a lot until a couple of years ago. I received a gift, which was a blank journal.
Mhm.
And my friend said, I want you to write I said, I don't even know what to write in it. And she goes, well, here's a little formula for you. Write these 3 things down. She said, number 1, write what you're thankful for that day. It could be anything. It could be sunshine. It could be clean water to drink. She said, number 2, write one thing that you're good at, whether it's cooking or which wouldn't be my case, but write one thing that you're good at. And number 3, write down one thing that you could do better at, whether it's you could be more patient or whatever. And so when I can't think of something to write, I always go to those 3 things. And I have been going to that for over 2 years now. And it's pretty funny to look back the past year with COVID and all the anxiety. It really helped me get that out, because I was really angry that I couldn't see my friends or go play. I thought, how can the whole world be on shutdown? I just couldn't get over that, And like you were saying, LaWanna, when people say something to you, it hurts your feelings, that's on you. So like, LaWanna, what I used to do is, like, if my boss got on me for something, I would just write his name on the bottom of my shoe and walk around it on all day.
I like that one.
That it helped me. I have my husband on the bottom of many of my shoes as I walk around. Those things, they help me. But, and because I'm such a weird person, my journals pretty much entertain me. I mean, they may not be funny. They may not be funny to anybody else, but they're funny to me. And so that's another reason I keep journals.
People will love it when they find those journals someday.
Or my shoes, or oh, I got to write that down.
Yeah, don't write
Burn my
a marker.
shoes.
I must have gotten a hold to your friends' list, because those 3 questions I remember seeing. I've got several lists, and I remember seeing those 3 questions that you just
what was question 1? I was distracted and I didn't hear the first one. Was it what you're mad at or bad
What
at?
what are you thankful for?
Yeah.
Thankful, and then what you're good at, and then
What you're
you
good
want to
at,
do
And what you can be
and then
better
where
at.
you can do better.
So
Yeah.
thankful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
And the other one was write their name on your shoe.
Yeah. Just don't use permanent marker, because you
yeah, please.
Oh, sometimes you have to though, Janet. No.
Well, I want to thank you ladies for inviting
Oh,
me.
thank
and
you.
for,
Oh, that was
questions
so
and
good,
things.
LaWanna.
You've
I
been
mean,
a
there's a
great
couple of
audience.
things that made me think about. One thing, sometimes my thoughts are kind of scrambled in my head. And so you're right. If you write it down, it helps just organize my thoughts and, that kind of make more order. And then the other thing I do, I said, I journal when I pray. That's just to keep my mind on what I'm doing, because, I would find myself praying and then making a grocery list. It's like, wait, I was praying, and so it just keeps me, focused on what I'm doing. And sometimes as I'm writing, you can't even read it. I'm just, because I can't write very well and I'm thinking faster than I can write, but it's okay, because it's still doing, what I want it to do, in that it's keeping me focused.
Right.
So there's lots of great
you.
reasons. You came up with so many more of how to, and sometimes I express myself by writing poems. And it's like I have these thoughts sort of in my head, and I put it in the form of a poem, and that's kind of one way I guess you'd call it journaling,
Yeah.
journaling with a rhyme.
I've actually got about 3 or 4 poems that I've written for that same, just doing what you were talking about doing. But
Yeah.
you also reminded me the fact that when you're writing stuff down, you don't have to do stuff in any kind of order.
Yeah.
Just however it comes to you, write it. Don't worry about the order, trying to come up with a formula. Just get it on paper.
Yes.
Once you get it there, and if you want to do more with it, then you can turn around and say, okay, I need this to be here, and I want this over here. You can do that later, but at the time you're writing, don't worry about any kind of order. Just put it down.
Yeah. So I have a question, because I don't do blogs, and I don't read a lot of blogs, but are blogs just basically journaling that you've made public?
Well, I do put some personal things on there.
Yeah.
I try to put helpful stuff, like I talk about things you can do for self-care, self-awareness, self-love, journaling. self-discovery. I try to put stuff that's going to help. I talk about motivation, goal setting,
Yeah.
things like that. And then I only recently started trying to add some personal stuff. When I first began, I had a 30-day challenge, and they had some crazy stuff on there that you had to write. So there was a lot of personal stuff written there.
Yeah.
But then I thought people aren't interested, so I just started
Don't
writing
ever think
other
that.
things.
Don't ever think that, because, you
But
know,
yes,
people
that's what someone
relate.
told me. No, you got to put personal stuff. So
Yes.
now I put it intermittently in between.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if
Yeah,
I
you know,
don't
'cause
have time
people
to
can
write, I'll
relate
put
to you.
a quote up there.
Yeah, you write something personal and they go, I felt that way, you know, and then they have that connection. You know, I sent a poem to a friend yesterday, and she texted me this morning and said, thank you. That's exactly what I was feeling last week, you know, and so, you know, it's like now we have that connection, you know, because she knows that I understand what she was going through and stuff. So yeah, I think it's good to share. I mean, I say that, but you know, don't ask me to share it. Okay, so we should probably do our commercials, but
One
this
more
was so
question.
enjoyable. Yes.
LaWanna, are you still involved in Toastmasters?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm actually in a Toastmaster here and Toastmasters in Southern California.
Oh, wow. Well, and the reason I wanted to ask that question, for those of you who have never been part of a Toastmasters like group, when I became a speaker, I felt, but Jana, you were saying, well, who'd be interested, or LaWanna, you know, who'd be interested in my story? But that's what connects you to other people. It's not the information you share, it's your personal story or your personal relationship to how that information affected you. So if you're, you know, if you're interested in telling your story, look into Toastmasters, or Pat and I are working on something too, but that personal story is what makes you you. And why nobody else can tell your story, so you have to tell it.
Right. And then you go to Yvonne to get it published.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, so if any of you are interested in having a book published or want to be part of a book compilation, please let me know. That's a book compilations when you have more than one author, you know.
Okay.
So if you're interested, let me know. I have a couple of people who have asked me about it. And so I thought, well, if I get 10 people together, that's what we'll do.
Very good. Okay, well, let's do our commercials. Thank you very much, LaWanna. I've been looking forward to this whole time. It's a shame that more people weren't able to benefit from it, but we have the recording, so we'll at least have that, and they can go back and look. And I got the date, the 28th, and that's a Monday, right?
Yes, at 6 o'clock. Did I send it out? I put the link in the
I don't see it.
I probably didn't hit enter because I was running my mouth. Remember Frank Sousa? Susan?
Who?
Frank Sousa. He used to tell me, when LaWanna came into Toastmaster, we couldn't get her to say a word. Now we can't get her to shut up.
Okay, so let's see what time we got. Well, let's take a minute. We can all do a minute, and I don't know if we even need to keep time.
Oh, keep time.
Try to keep it to a minute. If you go way over, we'll kind of be waving our hands. But Yvonne, I see you up there. Why don't we start with you?
Sure. So I don't have a commercial today. Everybody pretty much knows what I do. I'm an ebook publisher, LaWanna, so that you know. And I'm really excited. I'm going to show you the current book that we're getting ready to publish next week. It's a children's book called I Am. And it's full of positive words and affirmations for building self-esteem. So I'm really excited. This is my sample, so I could do some final polishing on it. And then we restarted our podcast. So we recently published a book it's a psychic detective series. And the first story is a short story to kick off the series. And so I did a narration of the book on our podcast. So that publishes on Thursday. So I'm really excited about that. And then most of you also know that I am a retired funeral director, and this is my second career as an ebook publisher. So I've contacted several other funeral professionals from different areas in the profession of the funeral or death care profession. And we're going to do a compilation of our different experiences, nothing disrespectful. So please know that. And we're not going to use names and locations because we want to protect the families, but there's different categories, silly, supernatural, funny, and you can't just make this shit up is one of the categories. And so I'm really excited. So we're going to start that compilation. I've got several short stories coming in, and I'm not sure when that's going to be slotted for publishing. It kind of depends on how quickly all the authors move. But
That
those
should
are
be an
the
interesting read.
it is. And that's the whole purpose, you know, because our field is so scary to most people and mysterious. And so I thought it would be nice to do something like a coffee table style book. And this will be one of the few that we actually publish in paper format and not ebook.
Right.
So something a little different, a little more insight into the things that we deal with as funeral directors and funeral professionals. And so I thought it would be fun.
Very
Thanks.
good. Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I know.
I am very powerful too,
Yeah.
like that. I
I
am.
used to water the plants at a funeral home in Roseville and heard some interesting stories while I was there. Saw some
I'm
interesting
sure.
things.
I'm sure.
I guess I looked like one of the ladies that was laying in one of the coffins at one point, and I walked around the corner and the guy kind of jumped back. I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh,
You know,
Oh,
that's
she looked just
awesome.
like that lady.
Yes,
Like,
take care.
sorry. Okay, Robin Shimizu.
okay, guys, I'm practicing my 30-second commercial.
Okay.
Okay. So, hi everybody, my name is Robin Shimizu, and I have an air purifier that can clean your air and surfaces so that you can protect your family of allergens, or family and your employees. And it takes care of irritants that trigger asthma and allergies, as well as smoke, odors, mold, mildew, fungi, bacteria, and viruses. So I just want to help people open up their doors safely, whether it's your home or your business. And if you have any questions about that, then come see me, Robin Shimizu.
Very good.
Ah, that was just
That's
about
great.
30 seconds perfect.
Is that about 30
Yeah.
seconds?
Yeah, you actually have
Yeah.
another 20 seconds though, if you want to talk about.
Oh, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I've been trying to practice these 30-second. I'm driving my people crazy by going over it and over, because I don't want to make people like glaze over, like, oh God, you know.
Hidden grace.
Thank you.
I have that same problem too. You know, I start running around and people like, okay, I still don't get this. I've heard it 1,000 times. I still don't get it.
But any input you guys want to tell me, put it in the chat. I'd be happy to hear it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Pat Gakatan.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Pat Gakatan with Feng Shui, and I am a humorous motivational speaker, trainer, and author. And I'm always excited to come to these training sessions or PWN because I get so much out of it, from the stories to sharing different ideas. I know many times I feel real silly in some of the things that I share, but that, as all of you know, that's pretty much my personality and why I pretty much entertain myself all day long. It's really strange. But to me, it's all about the positivity and its impact and getting over the fear of funny, even if it's just with yourself, just funny things that happen. In my journal, I write them down because you can't make this stuff up. And here's a perfect example. I went in a restroom the other day, and you know how you pull out that, I call it an ass gasket. You know, it's that paper thing that comes out to put over the toilet seat thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I pulled it out, and of course, because it was so full, only half of it came out.
Of course.
And I thought to myself, oh, I guess I have to do this half-assed too, you know. And I thought, well, that's pretty funny. So it tickled me. So I thought, I got to write that down. That's funny. But things like that happen to me all the time, and they may just entertain myself. But you know, when things happen that are funny, just like LaWanna said, write them down.
Yeah.
Maybe keep a funny journal, because as you were hearing LaWanna speak, she shared several stories, and that's the thing. And we got a visual on every one.
Yes.
That's the thing that she is amazing at. and especially from her Toastmaster training, that's what you want to do. And I was really impressed with LaWanna's presentation. I always am every time I hear her speak.
Yes.
So anytime you can get positivity in your life, look to Feng Shui. I'm your Feng Shui sensei. Okay,
Wonderful.
I'll stop myself.
Thank you. Very
I
good.
love all your signs.
Oh,
I know.
gosh.
Kim,
Hi, guys. Kimberly Abbasi I'm an ambassador with Stella and Dot, our family brands, Stella and Dot Keep Collective, and our Ever Skincare, taking care of your style, your sentiment, and your skincare needs. Right now, we have a special going on with our Style Club Insiders, where you get 20% back in product credit with your order. And so it's a great time to sign up if you're not a member already. And there's a lot more perks that are involved with that. You get free shipping when you spend over 100. You get free kudos throughout the year. And so we always offer a lot of good products for becoming an insider with Stella and Dot. Well, with me personally. I also wanted to share, we have several new charms that have come out. This is our July, for the 4th of July, little heart with the American flag. There's a few other ones. We have a hero, we have the star, and then we also have a larger focal charm with the stars on it. And so these are great that you can use to celebrate, you know, the 4th or whatever you want to celebrate your heroes and things like that. For people who have been in the military, this is really good too. You can get these engraved. These are all leather. So check those out on my website. And if you guys have any questions on anything, please feel free to reach out. I'm always here for you. Again, I'm Kimberly with Stella and Dot, bringing your inner sparkle out with our beautiful jewelry.
great. Can you put your link in the chat
Yeah.
for your website? Thanks. Robin Padilla.
That's me. Hi, everyone. I think everybody knows what I do. I'm all about safety. I have been with Damsel in Defense 9 years this month, so I'm very excited about that. And I'm more excited that things are opening up. I am starting to book events. I have 4 next month. So that's very exciting. And if there is anything that I love more, and that's being in person and sharing situation awareness, safety tips with everyone, whether it has to do with a women's group, a college students, you have daughters going off to college, children, we have our Safe Hearts program. It really doesn't matter. I can customize these safety programs for you in your neighborhood. I do neighborhood watch presentations. So if that's something that interests you and maybe some other groups that you're in, please let me know, give me a call. I love doing that more than anything else. I just think everybody deserves to be safe and aware. So thank you.
Thank you. Susan.
Okay, so some of you may not know this, some of you do. Pat gave me this sign
I
last
can
week.
see it.
It says, "My brain has too many tabs open." Which if you've ever been to my webinars, you see I have like 35, 40 tabs open. And that's really how my brain works. So the reason I'm telling you that is because, one, I think all of us are busy, right? We're multitasking. We've got lots of things that we have to do, whether it's for family, for business, for clients, etc. And things will fall through the cracks. So I've been on the mission for the last 6 months looking for what they call a CRM, which is a customer relationship management system, which will help you organize things. I have always said, because I've been in technology for over 40 years, that you will never find something that does everything you want it to do the way you want it, because we're all unique, right?
Right.
We all have different ways of doing stuff. But I am actually really excited about this tool that I found called Zoho. And it's got things for everything. In fact, Pat and I were on a Zoom-like call this morning using Zoho's version of that. And it not only did the Zoom call, but it would send reminders to all the attendees at least 3 times. It sends an automatic recording after that, which with this meeting, what I have to do is download the Zoom call, upload it to somewhere, and then send a link to everything.
And then usually resend it.
Yeah, and sometimes resend it. So what's nice about CRMs or automation is it will take care of some of those things that you've been doing manually and automate that.
Oh,
So next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, but a week from Wednesday, I'm going to do a Widget Wednesday on this tool. I'm
Oh.
calling it the holy grail of CRMs because really it does everything. So I am actually in the chat. I created a link. So this
Okay, good.
registration is for a Zoom call. And again, this is a free call. I'm going to talk about the 3 things that internet marketing should do. It should connect you to potential contacts. It should communicate with them because sometimes we don't make a decision on day one. And then also we'll convert them to a customer and manage this all under one thing. So if you're interested in that, please check out the meeting a week from Wednesday. And on the side, I serve wine just to help you relax after you've gotten all your tabs closed. So
Wait a
I am
minute.
Susan.
So this is, I'm confused. So the Zoho meeting is a Zoom thing.
Well, the Zoho meeting, I'm actually using the Zoho version of Zoom.
Okay.
And
You said something about serving wine and
oh, no, I serve wine offline.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yes, after you get all your stuff done.
Oh, okay.
I can, well, for those of, I think everybody knows, maybe LaWanna doesn't know. I am a rep for a wine shop at home and they send us wine and I pour it. And we have a good wine. And did you get my email, Jana, this morning?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we can talk about that later, maybe.
Yes, yes, we can. Okay, anything else, Susan? Are you done?
No, I'm done.
Okay, so I guess I'm the last. So most of you know about For Life, which is transfer factors, which is something you probably have never heard of until you heard me say it over and over and over again. But it educates your immune system. And I really want to thank Susan and Jonelle for coming to the Meet the Molecule events that we had last week, because now you have a much better understanding of what transfer factors can do, right?
And I have product. And
Yes.
I have product.
Yes. So anyway, I just love this product. I feel like it's a good marriage with Juice Plus, which is the other thing that I sell, because Juice Plus brings great nutrition to your body. This brings education to your cells. And so we just really, we live in a very toxic world these days, and we need all the help we can get, really. And so we are, well, I'll let you talk about it, Susan, what's going to be happening, because we're going to kind of join forces here.
Yeah, so just to kind of give you a little bit of how I learned more about what Jana is doing is when you do a 30-second commercial, we can't get it, right? I mean, it's like, what is she talking about?
Yeah, never heard of it.
You can't say a whole lot and explain it,
Yeah.
but when she did her 5-minute, when she was the Emerald speaker, I think it was last month,
Yeah.
I kind of got a little bit more intrigued because I didn't still understand it, but parts of it made sense. And again, if you ever have that little thing, I want to learn more about that. So she actually, I'd forgotten about the meeting date. She texted me and said, "Are you coming?" I go, "Oh yeah." And so I went, not knowing I had committed to going. I said I was interested in learning more. So even if I don't learn anything, I wanted to go. But I learned enough so that I wanted to get my husband, who had meningitis about 8 years ago. And he has symptoms that the Western doctors have not been able to help him with. Whatever he's been doing a lot of research into options. So he ended up going to the second meeting with me on Thursday, and he decided that he wanted to try the product. So I was really, and then I got some product too. And my mom's getting product.
Yes.
Because we each have different things that we want to address.
Right.
So Jan and I were talking when we were putting together my order, and she mentioned, what if we have a wine and wellness event? And I thought that was a great idea. So I actually talked to Pat Gakatan this morning, and she's going to host our very first wine and wellness event. So what's going to be cool about it is you can learn a little bit more about Jana's product. We're going to pour you some wine. And the thing is, if you don't buy anything, that's awesome. I mean, you don't have to, but at least you get a little education, have a little fun, drink a little wine if you like wine. If you don't like wine, that's okay too. We'll get you something else.
I probably won't be sipping your wine? Because it doesn't take much wine before I start slurring my
Well,
words.
I was
And
thinking
that would not be good.
the wellness thing first, and then we'll follow
Yeah,
up with
there
the
you
wine,
go.
because then we can sip and talk and stuff. So anyway, so if you're interested, let us know, and we're forming the date with Pat. I haven't heard back from Janet, but that'll be at the end of July sometime. And again, if you're interested in anything like that, we will come to you. You don't have to
Yeah,
come to us.
absolutely.
We will find, we'll come to you. I think
Absolutely.
it'll be a fun experiment to see how that works as a
Yeah.
incident.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited about it. Thank you, Pat, for being willing to open your home to do that. That'll be great.
As she would say, she's a test.
You'll be our guinea pig. Okay, well, LaWanna, is there anything that you wished you had said that you forgot to say, or?
I don't know.
Well, I want
I
to say,
could mention that I have a blog, a podcast. So if any of you are
Oh,
interested in
podcast. Okay.
being on the podcast, just let me know and we can set up an appointment for you to be interviewed.
Oh, there you go.
well, and LaWanna,
Yeah.
I would like to invite you back now that we're live back at Randy Peters. We hope
Yes.
you will come back to a live meeting and consider joining us. In fact, you want to talk about Christmas in July, Jen?
Yeah, I was going to say that before we left. Our next meeting
You're
is,
doing the Hallmark thing, huh?
No,
I'd be open
we're going to be
Christmas in
stealing.
July.
We're going to do the Grinch thing. It's
yes,
more of a
Christmas
Grinch
in
thing.
July. What is it, the 13th? I want to look at my calendar.
13th, yes.
Yeah, the 13th. We'll be at Randy Peters Catering, a live event, and it's Christmas in July. So if you come, you need to sign up that Friday before so you can get the better price. And then you come with a gift of $20 to $25 value wrapped. And then we'll do our little gift exchange, stealing / whatever. And we'll all go home with a prize, and it should be fun. We weren't able to do it in December, so we had said at the time that we would do Christmas in July. So we're going to do that for this July's event. So that should be fun. We just need to have fun. Pat, you have to come because we need more fun. Okay.
Just send me the info.
Yes, we will. We
And
will.
just to let you know too, you can invite guests. They don't have
Yes.
to be members of PWN. They will
Right.
bring
Yeah.
a prize.
And just
if they
encourage
want
them to bring a
participate.
prize if they want to participate in that.
But I think this is a fun way to introduce, PWN to people who haven't been for a
Right.
while.
Right.
Or thinking about it, but would like to come and just, socialize first.
Yeah, and people are so ready to start getting out there too. So maybe you've invited somebody in the past and they haven't come, but maybe invite them again, and you never know, because people are ready to get out there and start being around people. So
Yeah.
anyway,
And just to
we're
let you
looking
know,
forward to
it's in 3 weeks, not 2 weeks, because we have an extra Tuesday in June.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Right.
Yeah, so it's in 3 weeks over at Randy Peters. So we'll start getting the emails out again. Register by
Yes.
the Friday before, just so you can pay.
Yeah.
the
No
less-
speaker. There won't be a speaker or spotlight tables.
We're gonna
So
have-
yeah, because just the exchange itself takes a while. So
And it's okay to dress Christmassy. We don't expect you to wear an ugly sweater because it's going to be hot.
whew,
But it's okay to wear Christmas colors or, something.
yeah. And Lorraine wants to decorate. She wants to go all out and decorate like Christmas. So you can wrap your gift in Christmas paper if you want, whatever.
Right.
So yeah, I got to start shopping. I got to figure that out.
Mhm.
Anyway, I think we're getting
Until
close.
last night, my Christmas tree was still up.
Oh, no.
Oh,
The only
I know
reason
that the
it-
That's a
the
record,
only
Luana.
reason it came down was because my son bought me an air conditioner and he needed that window.
oh, there you go.
So, Mom, the tree gotta go.
Wow. Geez, another few months and you could have just left it there. I mean,
That was
Really?
my
give you
intention,
time.
not to have to redecorate. it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's funny. I think you set a record or something, LaWanna. All right. Is there
Write that
anything?
down.
Is there anything anybody has a public service announcement or anything like that you want to let us know about? Put you back to
Well,
gallery.
I do a lot of work in Rancho Cordova, and I know a lot of you are probably not near Rancho Cordova, but they're starting to do, I know that they're planning on the August summer concert series, which I sorely missed last year, but they're doing they're free, and they're doing free concerts on the patio at the art center, which Jamie is a volunteer for. So
Oh,
if you're interested in, and I love Rancho Cordova, I think Rancho Cordova is a really cool community. Go to Cordova Council. I'll put the link in the chat just to check out their schedule of events, but there's a lot going on coming this summer, including a reduced 4th of July, but they canceled 4th of July last year like they did everywhere, but they're doing fireworks.
Right.
And actually I heard, I don't know how they swung this, but the parade, which is usually a hometown parade, apparently they got the Budweiser Clydesdales.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, they've got them in the parade this year. So
Oh,
Wow.
that's
wow.
a big deal.
That is.
Yeah.
huge.
All right.
A public
We have-
service announcement.
Are they going to have clowns coming behind them with wheelbarrows and picking up the
I'm
poop?
sure. I mean, that's what I did in high school. Funny you should mention that. We were raising money to go to a drama competition back east. And I was not only the pooper scooper for the horses, but I had to go back to the beginning of the parade and do it twice because
Oh my
they ran
goodness.
out of volunteers. So that was my high school pooper scooper experience. It's just
Yeah.
I don't have horses now.
I
You
would
know,
like-
it taught you humility. Robin, did you have your hand up?
Yeah, I just wanted to share something real quick. I'm part of the Roseville Host Lions Club. And we were lucky enough to be able to have a fireworks booth. This
Oh, wow.
year, we are at the corner of Douglas and Sunrise between Del Taco and Carl's Jr. And
Okay.
I am actually working the booth next week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I believe Thursday, no,
Oh,
Friday.
dear. Is
So,
it going to be
yeah,
100?
yeah, I know. We don't even know if we're gonna be open that much, because I don't know if you all are aware, but there is a fireworks shortage. And so I heard whatever we get shipped, that's going to be it. So if you plan on doing fireworks or you know somebody, send them our way and help support our Lions Club, because we love giving back to the community.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
And then you could say hi.
Yeah, I'll come by and say hi. I have dry grass all around me, so I don't think I'll be doing too many fireworks.
Well, I think this is the first year I'm not going to buy any myself
Yeah.
because my dog is, the older she gets, the worse. And she's
Oh.
sit out on the street with me and we could turn them all on, never bothered her. But the last couple years, she's been just like panicked. So I actually have some dog CBD oil that I give her to help keep her calm, But anyway, I will still be working there. So if, just to let you know.
All right, I'm saving my chat here. So there's so many links in there. It's like, I don't want to miss them. So anyway, well, we might as well end this meeting, but it's been fun and it's been a great time. And I'm going to try to come to your workshop, LaWanna, because I enjoyed it so much. I think I need to start writing more.
It's fun.
Yeah, I told Yvonne that I don't have enough poems for a book, but but if I start writing more, then maybe I will. So someday.
That would
And
be
maybe
awesome.
there's somebody else who.
Yeah,
They don't have enough
right.
poems. You can
Right,
always put
exactly.
together.
a compilation. There you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very good.
And those are fun.
Okay. Yeah, that's true because you get more than one personality coming through. Okay, well, it's been great, and we'll leave it at that and hope to see you all at our next live meeting.
All
All right, thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Thank
See you
you.
next
Bye.
time.
Thank you.